Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your Vedic astrology coach, Rajat Kapoor, and welcome to my channel, The Legit Astrologer. In my channel, I make videos on Vedic astrology. I talk about transits, and I also share some deep secrets about Vedic astrology in my teachings to keep the concept very simple for you. In the recent times, I have made a number of videos, particularly on Saturn's transit in Pisces, Jupiter's transit in Gemini, Rahu and Ketu's transit in Aquarius and Leo, and most recently, I have also made a video on Saturn and Rahu's conjunction in the sign of Pisces and how these transits are going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs or the moon signs. Today, I'm going to talk about Mars's direct transit in Cancers, its entry back in the sign of Cancer, which is its debilitation sign. This is happening on 3rd of April. And for the next couple of months, Mars is going to stay debilitated in the sign of Cancer till 6th of June 2025. During this transit, interesting phenomena is that Mars is being aspected by Rahu, who continues to make its last leg of transit in the sign of Pisces. So, till about mid of May, Rahu has a fifth aspect on Mars. This is also a time where you can revisit something that happened in your life between October through December to 2024, revisit some of your decisions, and it's a time to re-evaluate some decisions that you took in the past. Mars has had unusually longer time in the sign of Cancer over the last few months. It went retrograde back in Gemini, and now it is coming back to the sign of Cancer. Now, let me share with you some deep secrets about Mars and its transit to Cancer before I talk about all 12 ascendant signs or the moon signs. I'm going to talk about a few very simple, extraordinary things, some deep secrets, some of the things that you've never heard in the past, and try to keep these concepts very simple for you. Mars in Cancer will be in Punarvasu Nakshatra initially in the fourth pada. This nakshatra is ruled by Jupiter. It will be aspected by Rahu, who's making a transit in Purva Bhadrapad Nakshatra, which is also ruled by Jupiter. Rahu will be aspecting Mars by its fifth aspect. So Rahu's fifth aspect is about knowledge. It's only 75%. So it has Kona Drishtis, fifth and ninth. But this is only 75%. Rahu's knowledge is not a very good knowledge. It is all the wrongdoings that are there. So a simple tip to minimize any ill effects during this transit comes from Jupiter. See, the first few days, both of them will be around 1 to 2 degrees in their signs. And this is when Rahu will have a very deep, intense aspect on Mars within the first 2 weeks. So the remedy comes from Jupiter till the time Mars is in Punarvasu Nakshatra. Rahu's aspect on Mars, though, is impacting Sun. So whenever Rahu causes any affliction or it tries to afflict Mars or overpower, it is affecting Surya, it is impacting Sun. Because in the planetary cabinet, Sun is the king, Mars is the commander. And this dates back to history. Rahu has been the commander of the Daitya Sena or the army of demons. Mars is very closely associated to Lord Kartikeya, who was the commander of the Deva Sena. So this dates back to, from a historical point of view, the kind of relationship or the enmity they have. So this time period, one must remedy their sun, and of course, based on the placement of the sun, we can further have an assessment on how this transit is going to impact. Resources could be a little bit challenging over the next couple of months, and there could be potential leadership authority issues. Some political leaders could definitely face the heat, and they could have some adverse impact on potential leadership positions. Mars is debilitated in Cancer, but this is also a friendly sign. We must not forget. A lot of people I have heard, these days they say that when Mars is in Cancer, it is aspecting Capricorn. It is Ucha Drishti or exalted Drishti or aspect. I do not believe in this concept here because this is half baked. A drishti or an aspect can never be an exalted aspect or a debilitated aspect. It is an aspect. Mars is seventh aspect while it's in Cancer. It is the aspect of desire, but that is only 50%. It has 100% fourth and the eighth aspect, which I'm going to talk about. But yes, it's a friendly sign for Mars. It is a humble Mars. So the energy levels are definitely low, but so is the aggression. So is the anger. So is the valor as well, or the courage, which also Mars determines. So there are both positive as well as negative sides to this transit. Now, one thing that you must understand is that Mars rules Scorpio and Aries. Scorpio is its home or the own sign. Aries is Mool Trikon. Mool Trikon sign is like an office space. So this is six houses from the sign of Scorpio. So which means when Mars goes to work, it goes to war. So it is a constant battle at work where it does not like to lose. Therefore, it needs incentives, it needs status and power at work. This is something which will probably help him to work. And this is where some of the remedies come as well to channelize Mars. Incentive, status, some sort of power gives Mars that ability to work. But with power comes ego. Mars has a very low ego when it is in the sign of Cancer, so this is good news for us. Natural benefics are good when they're exalted, and natural malefics are good when they're debilitated. Now, this is not from a temperament point of view, but this is from the point of view of Raj Yogas or the ability to give certain auspicious yogas in chart. So, from that aspect, Mars being a natural malefic, it is not bad when it is debilitated from a Raj Yoga point of view. Debilitated Mars always kills aggression, enmity, and this is where the survival skills count. So it is the survival of the fittest. This is where people need to develop certain survival skills in terms of what they do in life if they are being significantly impacted by this transit of Mars. Mars' strong influence in the chart indicates that life is a continuous battle and losing cannot be an option for such people. Such people are very highly competitive. See, because again, Mool Trikon, sign of Mars, Aries, is six houses from Scorpio, which indicates competition, which indicates your ability to overcome competition, your battlefield, battle on the ground, dealing with life on a day to day basis. So it is a continuous battle. Rahu always has a hidden revenge towards Mars. See, Rahu, from a historical point of view, was about to defeat Mars. He was about to defeat Lord Kartikeya, but it was by the intervention of Lord Vishnu who chopped the head of Rahu by his Sudarshan Chakra. And this way, Lord Kartikeya was safe, Mars was safe. So, Rahu's revenge, Rahu's aspect momentarily could weaken Mars, but it cannot destroy or harm severely. Okay, this is where Lord Vishnu would protect. So any prayers to Vishnu, Vishnu mantra would be very good around this time. A simple mantra that is Om Vishnave Nama, which is a Shadakshari mantra or a mantra with six syllables, could be quite good from a protection point of view. Let's also talk about Mars's aspect. Mars aspects fourth from its position and eighth from its position as its special aspect since it's an outer planet, and these are 100% aspects. I have spoken a lot in detail in my previous videos, but quite simply, Mars's fourth aspect is about protection, and eighth aspect is about how long this is going to last. So, transit Mars in Cancer is aspecting the sign of Libra and the sign of Aquarius. So, the protection would come from Libra wherever it falls in your chart, and how long this is going to last is going to be determined by the sign of Aquarius. At the natural level, Libra is a sign of balance, it's a sign of partnership, it's a sign of people who are opposite to you. So, those people, law and order, a sense of balance, your spouse, your partner could protect. And of course, this protection from a karmic standpoint, your friends could also play an important role in terms of determining how long this is going to last. Your ability to deal with opposition or enemies could also determine how long you're going to be protected. But those people who are opposite to you, a sense of balance, and your spouse in general at this time could play a very important role in your protection. So, this was about Mars, some secrets and energies of transit Mars, and how we could probably protect ourselves. Now, let me talk about how this transit is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant and the moon signs. At the physical level, you must read this from the ascendant sign. At the mental level, you must read this from your moon sign. Let's begin with Aries ascendants. For Aries ascendants, transit Mars is in Cancer. Mars is your ascendant lord, the lord of the first house. Okay, Mars for you also becomes your eighth lord. So Mars rules your ascendant and the eighth lord. So, which means Mars becomes the ruler of yourself, your overall body, your vitality, your personality, who you are. Your intelligence is seen from the first house, and also the eighth lord of transformation, longevity, sudden changes, sudden downs, ups and downs, and sudden events in life. Since Mars is your ascendant lord, its transit is likely to have an impact on you. This transit, Mars is making a transit in the fourth house of Sukh, happiness, your comfort space, where you feel most happy, where you feel most protected, your safe space, your mother, your homeland. This Mars is debilitated as well, but it is making a transit in Kendra or quadrant house. Therefore, I would expect it to deliver good results for you most of the time. But you might have to relook at some decisions that you took with regards to your home, your safe space, your assets between October through December 2024. And it is time for you to reevaluate those decisions or revisit some of the actions that you took. See, Mars is in a comfortable position here because Mars is also one of the significator of the fourth house because he's Bhumi Karak, the significator of lands, okay, and various kinds of properties that are related to lands. So you could have some karma to deal with land related matters or your real estate matters during this time. Rahu is having a fifth aspect on Mars during this time, which is the aspect of not so good knowledge. So decision making could come very difficult for you over the next couple of months. So I would encourage you to avoid any major decisions. The good way you can channelize this Mars is by decluttering your home because Mars is making a transit in your home. You could do some renovation work, you could do some cleaning work, and if you do it by yourself, it would be good for you. You must also donate because see, Mars for you also rules your weaknesses, which is your eighth house, your Nija dosha. So if you donate things from your home and you do that in secret without disclosing to anyone, because eighth house also represents secret, this is good from a karmic standpoint for you to channelize this Mars appropriately. Mars is aspecting your seventh house by the fourth aspect and your 11th house by the eighth special aspect. So your spouse will play a very important role, those people who are opposite to you, to support you. In case you are married, please look up to your spouse. Please look up to your partner to support. They could go out of the way to help you. And how long this is going to last. And of course, where is it coming from? Who is going to protect you? Where is it coming from? Your friends could also play a very important role or your widest social network. So, this is where you need to reach out to your friends as well and stay connected. Take suggestions of other people. Those people who are looking forward to getting into and establishing a new relationship, this time period could be particularly favorable for you. So again, remedy is simple that you need to declutter your house. And the first 15 days, look up to Jupiter because both Rahu and Mars are making a transit in Jupiter's nakshatra. So Guru is the one who would protect you. And in case you have a well disposed sun in your chart, you will have minimum effects. Otherwise, you could have authority issues. If sun is in 6th, 8th, or 12th house, or if sun is placed in the third house as well, or 11th house, you could have some authority issues around this time. Look up to Jupiter and do any mantra based remedies related to Jupiter. And I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Taurus ascendants and what's happening with Taurus ascendants as transit Mars would again enter your third house on 3rd of April. And for the next couple of months, Mars is in its debilitation sign in Cancer. Mars for you is the 12th Lord and he's the 7th Lord. It rules Aries and Scorpio and it is making a transit in the third house. So, being the 12th Lord in the third house is giving you a Viparita Yoga. Circumstances could go adverse. Eventually, you will rise. Mars is the significator of the third house, natural Karaka, because he represents valor, courage, your efforts. And this is something which is seen from the third house. Mars also represents co bonds, particularly younger siblings. So, it's a comfortable position for Mars, but in terms of its dignity, this is where it is losing dignity. Mars for you is one of the potent malefic planets for Taurus ascendants. So its transit being debilitated, it's mostly good because significations are working on a positive side. Any efforts that you put over the next couple of months, you're likely to see some good outcome, particularly in job related matters because your job is being protected. See, this Mars is aspecting your sixth house by the fourth aspect. So, what is being protected? Your job is being protected, your daily routines, things what you do on a day-to-day basis. How long this is being protected and where it is coming from? It is coming from your workplace and of course your situation at workplace, people at workplace will play a very important role in this protection. So this could be a good time for you to get some guidance from someone senior, a mentor at work, someone who could be a coach to you, or someone who you trust, because your 3-9 axis is also pretty active. So you do need some sort of mentorship, which could potentially be good for you in order to drive these energies and channelize these energies. Your spouse can also play a very important role in being a mentor, your partner. There is some relationship karma that you have where you have to increase your communication, you have to keep the ego aside, because this time period would make you less aggressive. Another way to channelize this Mars is because you could face low levels of energy is to exercise and try to have a very active routine all through the day consciously, because you could feel that you're lethargic and low on energy, and perhaps you could sleep for long hours. Avoid sleeping during the midday, particularly. This is how you would spoil your sun, because Rahu aspecting Mars is trying to impact your fourth lord sun and wherever it is placed in the chart. So resources could be challenging for you. My advice would be not to sleep during the daytime, particularly midday. Rise early to strengthen it. Rahu's aspect on Mars could, in the third house particularly, could help you in learning about very unconventional ways of work. But this could also encourage unethical thinking or behavior. So make sure that you stick to your values and ethics and stay away from any corrupt practices here, right? Because otherwise it could be detrimental to your health and well-being. See, Rahu is your co-10th lord. So if you look up to your Lagna Lord Venus and if you look up to Surya, you will be able to channelize this Rahu appropriately so that it helps you put some good efforts at workplace so that the change is good. Anything new that you come across, any new project, the situation is still a little bit comfortable for you. And another remedy for you would be to journal. Journal every day, put all your energies and attention in journaling. Anything that you use your hands with, work in the kitchen, that's again a very good remedy for Mars being positioned in your third house in aspect. And I wish you the very best over the next couple of months. Now let's talk about Gemini ascendants and what's happening with Gemini ascendants as Mars moves out of your ascendant sign in Gemini, where it has been since the last few weeks, and now it is going to enter your second house. Second house of your family, of Kutumba Bhav, of speech, of your accumulation. We also see wealth that is accumulated, what you like to save, what you'd like to protect. And of course, your storage space is seen from the second house. Mars is your sixth lord and your 11th lord. So it's a functional as well as natural malefic planet for Gemini ascendants. It shares an inimical relationship with your Lagna Lord Mercury. It is making a transit in the second house. So 11th lord making a transit in the second house is giving you a Dhan Yoga. And Mars is good when it is debilitated for such ascendants, because if there are Raj Yogas in your chart or prominent wealth yogas or Dhan Yogas, that could work in your favor during this time. Because Mars has low aggression, low energy, but this also means that you could have some erratic or probably an inconsistent eating habit. So that's something which you have to watch out for. Your speech will be humble because Mars is debilitated, so you will avoid any authoritativeness, any aggression in your speech. You'll be focused on building relationship. This is something which you have to watch out for. It is also your sixth lord making a transit to the second house. If there are any loans that you need to repay, any debts, you could be in a comfortable position or situation could be favorable for you to repay these loans or debts in case your dasha and the dasha is supportive. This Mars is being aspected by Rahu. So this could create a little bit of turmoil. So my advice would be to manage your spending and your savings. The more you save around this time, you'll be able to channelize Mars and Rahu. So avoid any major decisions with regards to investment, with regards to your financial. So you need a better financial management over the next couple of months in order to channelize these energies. Mars is aspecting your fifth house, okay, by the fourth special aspect. So your creativity is being protected, your children, your future. So an excellent time for future planning. Those who are looking forward to having a rise in their income, any incentive, this could be a potentially favorable time for you. You could have some incentive, you could have some bonuses or a rise in your income. Now, how long have you been protected? This is the ninth house. Your protection is very much dependent on your bhagya. So fortune plays a very important role here. Your father plays a very important role. A guru plays a very important role. You could have some good travel opportunities as well over the next couple of months. Certain movements, certain shifts, which could potentially be good for you. But in case you have a benefic or a strong planet in the ninth house, this is a good sign for you from a progress point of view. But you have to manage your diet. Otherwise, there could be some digestion related issues or minor health issues that you could probably come across with because your 2-8 axis is pretty active here. Make sure that you remedy Jupiter during this time. So any mantra related to Jupiter or a simple Shiva Panchakshari mantra, that is Namah Shivaya, could be very good for you to channelize the energies of both Mars as well as Rahu, because initial first few days they are in the nakshatra of Jupiter. So he is the one who you need to look up to. And it's the last leg of transit of Jupiter, and then you have to welcome Jupiter in your ascendant. So it's an excellent time to do some initiation, some prayers, and of course, mantras related to Jupiter. Or you could give some donations related to Mars. Red pulses, you can donate that. You can donate any kinds of grain, and especially any red grains, you can donate that as well. Wheat, that is something which is also potentially good for you to those who need. So give any food related donations to other, feed the needy. This is also more from a remedial point of view, and I wish you the very best over the next couple of months. Now let us talk about Cancer ascendants and what's happening with Cancer ascendants as Mars will enter back in your ascendant sign in Cancer in its debilitated state. Mars is making a second entry here. Last time it was there between October to December 2024. So quite naturally, you would need to reevaluate some of the decisions that you took around that time and see how, till what extent it helped you, and of course some of the changes that you need to bring in. So it's a re-evaluation time for you. These decisions most importantly could be related to your work, could be related to your future most importantly, because Mars for you is your fifth lord and the 10th lord, and this is making a transit in the ascendant. So it is forming a beautiful yoga apparently, because fifth lord in the ascendant, 10th lord in the ascendant, both these houses are Rajya Bhavas or houses of kingdom. And Mars for Cancer ascendants becomes a Yoga Karaka planet or the most favorable planet. So its transit in the ascendant over your moon sign is a natural Neech Bhanga because it's cancelling the debility. So I don't really consider this Mars to be weak in its disposition. It is placed pretty strong. In fact, it will minimize any aggression, any unforeseen aggression, or any anger issues. So it would probably be the time to make you more humble, to make you more grounded, because this is what the kind of compassion that you would like to follow, which is driven by your Lagna Lord Moon. So the one who rules your work and your future is making a transit in your ascendant, your body, your vitality, your immunity. You will have a renewed focus towards health and well-being. You will be much focused about your future. This time period could be favorable for you to make some key decisions related to your workplace. Maybe some mistakes that you made in the past, now you need to reevaluate. If you're looking forward to having a new opportunity, a new line of work, an interesting new project, this could be favorable for you. Also for job change. But it's a good time for you to pen down your goals for future and what you'd like to do. And make sure that you kill your own ego. This is how you will also build your self esteem and you will continue to build your resilience, the ability to bounce back from any difficult situations or any tough situations. See, Rahu is aspecting this Mars and your ascendant as well. So you are under an illusion for about 1.5 months. So you will have some sense of uncertainty. Rahu could bring sudden events related to yourself. Maybe you might have to focus on your health and well-being or your body or your vitality because of sudden changes in your lifestyle or your routine. You might find it a little bit difficult to manage, but this is where you would look up to Jupiter, your ninth lord. So the solution for you is remedies related to Jupiter, Jupiter's mantra, um, Brihaspati Gayatri is very good for you to, initiate, of course, or start doing. And this will help you more on a spiritual front as well, for you to gain more knowledge. So, the decisions that you will take during this time, please think about it and try to consult your mentor, your guru, or someone senior, someone who has some knowledge. Take the right advice, is something which I will advise you. Mars is aspecting your fourth house. So your safe space, your comfort space is protected, your home is protected during this time, right? And this protection, how long it is going to last, that depends on your ability to change. If you're change ready, you will be in a comfortable position. If you're resistant to change, then you could be in a slightly uncomfortable position. So be change ready and embrace any sudden things. So you could probably be in a situation where you have very limited time and you have to make a decision. So be prepared for such things, and I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Leo ascendants. For Leo ascendants, Mars is a Yoga Karaka planet, or one of the most favorable planets, because it's your fourth lord and it's your ninth lord. It rules one Kendra house and it rules one final house. It also becomes Badak, or Lord of Obstacles, being the ninth lord. But whether it will mostly give you results of Yogkarak planet or Badak planet would depend on the natal placement of Mars. If it is placed in quadrant houses or trinal houses, it will mostly give you results of Yoga Karaka planet, or the most favorable results. If it's in 6, 8, 12, any of these houses, even in the 11th house or the 12th house or second and third house, then it could give you mixed results. But nevertheless, it is a Yoga Karaka planet, and most of the time I have seen it giving better results for Leo ascendants in its periods and sub periods based on the connections that it has. This Mars is re entering your 12th house in its debilitation sign. So naturally, it is getting a Neech Bhanga because it's debilitated planet in the 12th house, which naturally cancels the debility. So it's making its entry back in your 12th house after a few months. So you might have to reevaluate certain decisions that you took with regards to your home or with regards to your learning between October to December 2024, and reevaluate these decisions. Your fourth lord in the 12th house, ninth lord in the 12th house. So in case you have plans to travel, or those people who are looking forward to settling outside of their home country, situation could be favorable for you in case your dasha antadasha is appropriate, because this Mars is being aspected by Rahu as well, and Rahu himself is a foreigner. Rahu is your co-seventh lord, sitting in your eighth house, places that are across the sea, and it is aspecting Mars. See, from a spiritual standpoint, it is very good. So if you get into some spiritual practices, meditation, yoga, sadhana, it will be good for you. You will be able to channelize these energies appropriately. Otherwise, you could have sleep issues. So you have to watch your sleep over the next couple of months. That could be disruptive, that could be disturbed. So that is something which you have to be mindful of. Mars is aspecting your third house by its fourth special aspect, and your seventh house by the eighth special aspect. So your efforts are being protected. If you put in efforts, you are in a safe space. Your courage, you'll build courage, you will learn about yourself, you'll try to build your self awareness. So it's a discovery phase for you. And your partner will play a very important role in these protection matters, those people who are opposite to you. Even if you run a business, that could have some significant changes or shifts or certain decisions you could make, which could be related to your financial matters in the business, or probably some movement that you could see more on a positive side. So, this is how long you're going to be protected. Spend a lot of time in learning about yourself, in learning or upskilling yourself with some unconventional ways of working, because you would need to step out of your comfort zone over the next couple of months. Either situation will force you or push you. So, it's better you take that call and make a move. Remedy Jupiter and also Sun, because Rahu's aspect on Mars is really trying to impact Sun here. So your decision making could be a little bit weak. So this is where you need to remedy Sun, rise up early, offer water to Sun, and chant a Guru mantra related to Jupiter. Or look up to Jupiter. Consume food items related to Jupiter, that is saffron, jaggery. You could consume turmeric as well. Or you can also use a Bij mantra of Jupiter to sail through this time, and may you have a blessed transit. Let us now talk about Virgo ascendants. What's happening with Virgo ascendants? As Mars enters the sign of Cancer, its debilitation sign, for the second time in the last few months. Last time Mars was in Cancer between October through December 2024. This time it's back again. This transit is happening in your 11th house. So I've mentioned this a number of times that any planets, particularly if it's a malefic, it's a good transit that it makes in the 11th house. I expect it to deliver good results most of the time. This Mars is debilitated, so you could have an adverse effect on your energy levels. Mars for you rules your third house and your eighth house. So it rules the house of effort, valor, courage, your change. Growth is also seen from the third house because this is also one of the Upachaya Bhavas. It also rules longevity, sudden ups and downs, transformation, places which are across the sea, sudden unwanted changes, unwarranted changes. And of course, your secrets as well is seen from the eighth house. Your fulfillment in marriage or married life is also seen from the eighth house. This Mars is debilitated in the 11th house. So, third Lord going debilitated in the 11th house could have an adverse impact on your efforts. So, you might need a little bit more efforts around this time because, from an energy standpoint, you could feel low in terms of energy. But one good news is that you will be able to overcome your enemies or opposition. But initially, first few weeks, first couple of weeks particularly, you have to be careful of other people because you have a tendency to build strong enmity during this time. You're winning over them because Mars is debilitated in the 11th house in this transit. It is aspected by Rahu, who is your sixth lord. And Rahu also shares a good relationship with your Lagna lord Mercury. So it is aspecting Mars. It will help you eventually overcome these enemies, but this time period would first create enemies. You need to exercise, eat right, and make sure that you have a very active routine all through the day. See, this Mars is aspecting your second house by the fourth special aspect, and he's also aspecting your sixth house by the eighth special aspect. So, your protection is coming from your finances. So, your finances are being protected during this time, right? Finances, your family, your food, what you consume. You could go through some dietary changes. You could be more mindful about your life. This time period needs a lot of lifestyle change, putting some of the fundamentals back on track because 11th house is the house of fulfillment. And of course, this is a time period which is, giving you a wealth yoga by the virtue of your efforts or some sudden changes in your finances, sudden increase or decrease. So this is something where you have to be very mindful of your savings and investment. And eighth aspect is on the sixth house. So based on your daily routine and the discipline that you have and what you do on a day-to-day basis would determine how your family and finances are going to be protected for how long. So make sure that you have a very good morning routine. Since this Mars is connected to your 11th house, aspecting your second house, keep yourself hydrated. Drink at least 2 to 3 liters of water, and depending on your, of course, the physical fitness routine and the amount of exercise that you do, this quantity could vary, right? You could also develop sleep issues during this time. So make sure that you get a nice 7 to 8 hours of sleep so that you stay energized all through the day. Look up to your ascendant lord Mercury. Do any remedies related to Mercury. A Vishnu mantra will be very good for you for your protection, and that could be Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Look up to him, and he will guide you. And I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Libra ascendant and what's happening with Libra ascendants as Mars moves in the sign of Cancer in a direct motion. Last time Mars entered your 10th house, and this was between October to December 2024. Okay. Now, this time around, Mars is again making its entry back in your 10th house. And this is where you need to welcome Mars because Mars gains directional strength in the 10th house, or it is Digbali. Therefore, there are blessings of Sri Hari, Lord Vishnu during this time, right? Because Mars is closely associated with Narsimha, which is a form of Lord Vishnu, and also Lord Hanuman. So there are blessings of both during this time. So situation could go adverse. Eventually, you are the one who would rise. This Mars is your second lord and your seventh lord, making a transit in a 10th house. Momentarily, it will help you make some good decisions with regards to your career. You will be very humble in your approach. You'll practice humility as one of your potential leadership skills. And this will probably help you improve the situation or your work environment. People will listen to you, people with authority. If you've had issues with authority, now is the time for you to build cordial relationships because those people will listen to you. One remedy for you is that you have to appear, you have to be absolutely energetic at workplace. See, Mars rules your second house of wealth, dhan, your family, your speech, what you say, what you consume, what you eat. He's also your seventh lord of your spouse, those people who are opposite to you. It is the Jaya Bhava, peace and also war. Mars himself is a warrior, those people who are opposite to you. And it's making a transit in your Karya Bhava, your profession, your action in the society. So it's a time for you to improve your work environment. And you have to be absolutely energetic at workplace. You could have low energies, and this could be detrimental towards your success. So make sure that you seem to be energetic to other people. That's how you should appear. Mars is aspecting your ascendant, your first house by the fourth aspect. So you have a protection during this time. Your vitality is being protected. You could take some important decisions with regards to your health and well being, with regards to your personal life, with regards to your intelligence. And Mars is also aspecting the eighth house by your fifth house by the eighth special aspect. So your future planning will determine how long your lifestyle, your immunity is going to be protected. So it is time for you to build some sort of consistency in your lifestyle as far as your future is concerned, and also take care of your partner's health during this time, more from a karmic standpoint. Look up to Venus, Shukra, your ascendant lord. Either pray to goddess Lakshmi, use a simple Lakshmi mantra, that is Om Lakshmaye Nama, or you could also use a Vishnu mantra in order to make the most of this transit. Remember that Rahu is aspecting Mars by its fifth aspect. Okay. Now, Rahu's aspect is about knowledge, but this is not so good knowledge. So it could probably influence you to make a bad decision at your workplace. But this Rahu is also your fifth lord. So if you're able to channelize these energies, this could create expansion at workplace. This could probably amplify things and make you do a good shift or make a good shift. If you've probably ended a job, you could start a new job over the next couple of months. If you've had some change, a challenging project, you could be in a good position in the coming weeks because this is going to amplify certain effects. Look up to Jupiter and look up to Venus during this time, and you will sail through. And I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Scorpio ascendants and what's happening with Scorpio ascendants as Mars enters back in the sign of Cancer in its debilitation sign, and this is happening in your ninth house. Mars for you is your Lagna Lord, Lord of the Ascendant. So it's an important planet, and its transit will always have an impact on you. It rules your first house. It also rules your sixth house. Mars is like a warrior at work. In the beginning of the video, I made you explain that Scorpio is the home sign of Mars. And Aries is the Mool Trikon sign of Mars, which is six houses from its own sign. So, one very clear message for Scorpio ascendants is those who have a strong influence of Mars, that you're always at war when it comes to work. A lot of competition, a lot of, again, dealing with enemies or opposition that's there. And such people likes to compete, they like to win. So losing is not an option for them, right? So if they have a strong influence of Mars. So this is more from a karmic standpoint, and this is how you need to act. You need to be absolutely 100% energetic, right? The energy levels are naturally very high for them when it comes to workplace context. Okay. Mars is making a transit in the ninth house in a debilitation state. So this is a time period when you need to protect your dharma. So Mars represents your body, your vitality, your immunity, who you are. It represents yourself. It also represents your daily routines, things that you do on a day-to-day basis, your debts, competition, any sort of diseases, loans, and of course, what you do on a daily basis. Your job is also seen from the sixth house. So your Lagna Lord making a transit in the ninth house is auspicious as long as you protect your dharma, because there's nothing bigger than dharma in life. So this is an excellent time for you to go on a spiritual retreat or any travel that could probably increase your spiritual quotient, because we also see spiritual or higher education from the ninth house. Pick up a course, try to learn something and get into the deeper meaning, deeper insight of these things. Another remedy for you could be to teach others. coach others, maybe at your workplace or in your life. The other people will come to you to get some guidance or get some consultation. So those who are in the business of advisory, consulting, or those who are in the similar line of professions could have some benefit during this time. Mars is aspecting your 12th house by the fourth aspect, special aspect, and your fourth house by the eighth special aspect. So your higher self consciousness is being protected, your ability to be more self aware, your sleep, your comforts. You make donations during this time because donations are something that will bring a sense of protection and, of course, help you focus on your dharma and your karma as well. And this will put you in a very comfortable position. So, another good choice for you would be to declutter your house. Make sure that you give away old things, you donate old things to those who need, and donate for dharmic purpose, for religious purpose. So, anything that you believe in based on your practice, your religion, the places of worship that you go to, make some donations. More from a karmic standpoint, this could be good for you. Rahu will be aspecting your Mars, so remember, by its fifth aspect, so it could cause some obstruction in your bhagya, in your dharma, in the path of righteousness. So make sure that you're thinking before deciding. So your decision making could be a little bit weak. You might need advice of others. You might need some support from people, your relatives, wider relatives, or of course your family members as well. So make sure that you're taking into account and of course you're consulting others before you decide. Otherwise, you can end up make a wrong decision. So just be careful of the fact because you are under an illusion over the next couple of months. Remedy Jupiter. You see, Rahu is making a transit in Pisces, last leg of transit. So, mantra related to Jupiter. It could be a simple mantra that is Om Gurave Nama. You can chant it 12 times to channelize both Rahu as well as Mars appropriately during this time. And I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Sagittarius Ascendants. What's happening with Sagittarius Ascendants as Mars makes a transit back in the sign of Cancer. And this is happening in your eighth house. Eighth house of suddenness, longevity, sudden ups and downs, sudden changes, places far off. Your weakness or Nija dosha is seen from the eighth house and your ability to counter that weakness. Mars for you is your fifth lord and the 12th lord. So it's a favorable planet. I always say that fifth lord is one of the most important planet for any ascendant. It is also your 12th lord making a transit in the eighth house, which is creating a Viparit yoga in transit. Situation or circumstances could go adverse. Eventually, you will rise. Those people who have children, there could be some happiness related to children or some prosperity that you could see, some achievement that could be there. It could come all of a sudden. For those people who are planning to have a child or extension of the family, this time period could be particularly favorable for them. The next few months, Mars's transit could bring some favors, and of course, situation is quite positive there. If you were to learn astrology or any of the ancient subjects, any hidden subjects that need a lot of research, or if your work demands a lot of research, this could give you progress. This could give you a high level of learning. For further education, if you were to, people are there who are probably thinking of pursuing masters, PhD, and beyond, this could be a potentially favorable time for you to start. So, this is how you'll be able to channelize the positive energies of Mars because Mars is getting Nicha Bhanga in the eighth house. It is also getting Viparita Yoga. Situation will go adverse. Eventually, you will rise off this transit. You have to be careful because Rahu is aspecting Mars. So there could be some suddenness in your life, some sudden change, sudden decision. You could be in a situation wherein you have very limited time, you have two choices to make, and you have to make it very quickly. So be prepared for certain events, for sudden shifts, because Mars is under the illusion of Rahu. So it is weakening Mars, but at the same time, it is not able to destroy. It will never be able to destroy Mars. That can never happen. Look up to Sri Hari, Lord Vishnu. Use mantras related to Vishnu. You could use a mantra with 8 syllables, that is Om Namo Narayanaya. And he's the one who will protect you and guide you during this time. Mars is aspecting your 11th house. So your gains are being protected, your income is being protected, and your efforts will determine how long this is going to be protected, how long you're going to earn, and of course, you're going to live the material, comfortable life. You are likely to put in a lot more efforts over the next couple of months for positive changes, for positive transformation. Exercise, eat right, have a very active routine on a day to day basis. This is something which you have to be mindful of. You might go through some dietary changes in your life. Make sure you keep yourself hydrated all through the day, right? Drink enough water to be able to channelize these fiery as well as watery energies of Cancer. And this is how you could probably make the most of it. And most importantly, look up to your Lagna Lord Jupiter to channelize Rahu, most importantly, to ensure that its aspect gives you the right kind of knowledge and not the wrong knowledge. It helps you make some right decisions over the next couple of months, which are in the best interest of yourself, but be prepared for suddenness. I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Capricorn ascendants and what's happening with Capricorn ascendants as Mars enters the sign of Cancer, which is its debilitation sign. Last time Mars was in Cancer between October to December 2024, and this time it's again coming back in your seventh house. Mars is Maran Karak in the seventh house, so it's a death like position. It's also debilitated, so it's a double whammy kind of a situation for you. But Mars for you is more of a neutral planet because it rules one Kendra house. It also rules the 11th house, so it has some maleficence as well. So its malefic energies are naturally going to come down. So the ego is getting crushed, the aggression is getting crushed. This could cause low energy levels as well, some relationship karma. But on a positive side, it could probably make you more disciplined and more willing towards learning, towards exploring new things. So Maran Karak position, Mars loses signification. So Mars signifies valor, courage, energy. So you have to be absolutely energetic, have a sense of discipline in your life. This is something which is a very clear message for you. Because see, this Mars is aspecting your 10th house by the fourth special aspect. And it is aspecting your second house by the eighth special aspect. And these aspects are 100% drishtis. So your work is being protected because this aspect is about protection, the fourth aspect. So your job, workplace, that is being protected. So that is good news for you. You will have a much more grounded approach when it comes to dealing with others. You will be very hands on with your approach. Of course, you need to increase your levels of energy, particularly at workplace and also at home, because your savings, your finances, and your family will play a very important role in ensuring that your work is being protected. So make sure that you involve your family members and you take decisions based on certain financial matters. So you need to do some financial planning over the next couple of months in order to increase your mindfulness or your level of thinking. So this is a very clear message here. Your partner or spouse can really go out of the way to help you or to support you. See, Mars definitely is Maran Karak in the seventh house. It is debilitated, but this is where your partner could have some suffering, but they will go out of the way to help you. Those people who are looking forward to establishing or getting into a new relationship might need to be little conscious, little careful for the next couple of months, but you definitely have a strong chance of meeting someone over the course of this time. There could be some mismatch in energy levels. This is what Mars does. When it's in seventh house, it causes a mismatch in the levels of energy between two people if they're in partnership. You can avoid any major decisions pertaining to your business during this time if you can. If it's necessary, then go for it. Rahu is also aspecting this Mars. Rahu is your co-second lord. So again, it could maybe make you make some bad decisions related to your finances. So think before deciding because this is under illusion. But on a brighter side, you will probably have a greater importance of life. You will probably be very focused on your personal priorities. You will have a greater sense of mindfulness. You will be able to channelize your desires because your level of aggression will be low. You will not have any anger issues. So, if you've had certain issues, you'll be able to overcome that, which means cordial relationship with other people. Look up to Venus, who's your 10th lord and also your 5th lord. Remedy Venus, use a simple Lakshmi mantra or worship Durga or read Sri Suktam on a daily basis in order to channelize these energies. And I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Aquarius ascendant. What's happening with Aquarius ascendants as Mars re enters Cancer this time? Last time Mars was in Cancer between October to December 2024. So, one thing is quite certain that you might have to re-evaluate some decisions, some matters pertaining to your job, pertaining to your daily routines, and of course, things that you were doing on a day to day basis. Mars for you is your third lord, the ruler of valor, your courage, your efforts, change, and also growth, because this is one of the Upachaya Bhavas. And Mars is also the 10th lord, the lord of your career, your profession, your actions in the society, what you do to survive and sustain yourself in this world. Your work is seen from the 10th house and what you would be doing. Mars is more of a neutral planet for Aquarius ascendants. It does hold certain importance because it's your 10th lord. This Mars is going to re enter your 6th house in the sign of Cancer, which is debilitated sign. It is creating a Neech Bhanga Yoga, which is cancellation of debility. This is a very humble Mars, grounded Mars, right, which has no scope of enmity. So one thing is sure that over the course of next couple of months, you will be able to defeat your enemies, you will be able to overcome the opposition. Because this Mars is being aspected by your co-lagna lord, Rahu. And in case you channelize this aspect well, you keep your decision making right and ethical, this could be a favorable time for you in order to overcome any enmity. You need a lot of financial management over the next couple of months. If there are any debts, any loans that you have to repay, situation or circumstances could be favorable for you to repay these loans, to repay these debts by the virtue of these energies. Your daily routine, daily life needs a lot of energy because you could feel low in terms of energy. So, if you have a daily routine, you've been able to maintain that. Momentarily, you could face low levels of energy, you could face some lethargy, and this is in your hands to overcome. Your ability to channelize this Mars positively is by exercising every day, by having a very active routine all through the day, at home and also at work. See, this Mars is aspecting your ninth house by the fourth special aspect. So your bhagya or fortune is being protected. Your learning, your higher learning is being protected. You could have some new travel opportunities during this time if it is related to work and if you're visiting foreign places, if you're interacting with people who are from other cultures or outside of your home country, this could be beneficial for you. Any work related travel could bring some benefits. And it is also aspecting your ascendant by the eighth special aspect. So this protection is completely in your hands. Your decisions will drive your fortune or bhagya. Take the right decisions, stick to the path of righteousness. See, because your 6-12 axis is also pretty active. If you have a morning routine and put your energies in any form of yoga, sadhana, meditation, or a very active routine, uh, you could probably have a better lifestyle. And of course, you could expect some better decision making capabilities as well. This way, you will improve your sleep as well if you have any sleep related issues. This way, you will be able to channelize the energies. Worship goddess Lakshmi, read Shri Suktam on a daily basis. So, anything needs consistency in life. Your partner or spouse could also play an important role in support because when Rahu is aspecting Mars, it is impacting Surya, which is your seventh lord. So there could be some business related decisions or decisions pertaining to relationship that you could take over the next few weeks. And I wish you the very best. Now let us talk about Pisces ascendants and what's happening with Pisces ascendants as Mars makes a transit in the sign of Cancer, and that is happening in your fifth house. Last time Mars entered the sign of Cancer, it was last year between October to December 2024. Now it is a perfect time for you to reevaluate some of your decisions that you took for your future. The Mars for you is your second lord and your ninth lord. The lord of wealth, dhan, your family, your kutumb, what you say, your speech, your consumption, your eating habits, your food is seen from the second house. Your storage space is seen from the second house. Mars also rules your bhagya, your fortune, long journeys, father figure, higher education, spiritual education is also seen from the ninth house, and it is making a transit in the fifth house. So both the lordships, it is giving you a dhan yoga in transit. Mars for you plays a very important role in wealth related matters or in finances. So over the course of next couple of months, you have to take some future decisions pertaining to your finances, pertaining to your family, and also your fortune or your higher learning. If you have some education plans for the future, this time period could be favorable for you. This could see yourself maybe getting some admission or making a breakthrough in terms of education related matters. Mars is very humble when it is in the sign of Cancer. The aggression is going down. So are the energy levels, and that is something which you consciously need to increase. The only caveat here is Mars is under the aspect of Rahu. So there is little bit of influence which is further weakening this Mars. You could channelize this by staying active all through the day and by penning down your goals for the future and be very clear of what you need to do and how are you going to achieve it. Remedy your Lagna Lord Jupiter. See, Rahu is sitting in your Lagna, and both Mars and Rahu in the initial transit are in the nakshatra of Jupiter. And the remedy comes from Jupiter. Any mantra based remedy, use a Shiva mantra, that is Om Namo Bhagavate Shiva, Om Namo Bhagavate Sada Shivaya, or use a simple Panchakshari mantra, that is Namah Shivaya, and he is the one who will guide you and protect you during this time. You could take some important decisions with regards to long term savings, long term investment. See, Mars is aspecting your eighth house by the fourth special aspect. So your transformation is being protected. Anything that comes all of a sudden, or if you come across sudden events, sudden changes, you'll still be protected and you'll be able to manage that very well. This will depend on your level of self awareness because Mars's eighth special aspect is on the 12th house. So, your level of self consciousness, how aware are you of the situation, will play a very important role for you to navigate these sudden kinds of changes or sudden kinds of event. You need to put a greater focus on your sleep, on getting a nice 7 to 8 hours of night sleep so that you stay energized all through the day, and this will help you make the right kind of decisions over the course of next couple of weeks. A very good time to set goals, and for your children also it's a prosperous time. In case you have children, they could have some achievements over the course of next couple of months, and I wish you the very best for this time. So, friends, this was yet another unique video on Mars's transit, a direct transit in Cancer that is happening again after a few months, revisiting our decisions. Mars is aspected by Rahu. I hope and believe that we keep our energy levels very high. We kill the inner ego. We have a sense of compassion towards the world, towards other people. And may Lord Shiva protect all of us. Thank you very much. God bless you all.